All right, there it is. Hello, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in to on the episode of the DTI Takeover Show. For those of you who are tuning in, I am Miss Kayla, your host here on Total Praise Radio. Um, as always, we are here highlighting and spotlighting some of our entrepreneurs, our business owners, people out here who are doing their thing. And so this young lady here is no different. I have Miss ShaTara Clock here of Ty Rights. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. And I thought I had edited that to say Ty Talks because that
Ty
was
Talk.
yeah, it's Ty Talks, but Ty Writes is my business as well. But this interview came to me by way of Ty Talk. So that's what happened.
Okay, well, we Ty Rights and Ty Talk.
Yeah.
We can talk about both of them.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Can't complain. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. So my name is ShaTara. And I'm in Alabama, at
Mm-hmm.
Montgomery, Alabama to be exact. I have a nonprofit by the name of TyTalks, which is how I was introduced to Total Praise
Mm-hmm.
Radio.
Mm-hmm.
TyTalks is my baby. It's a 501c3 nonprofit that's all about empowering women. And when I say that, it began as just a series of Facebook posts,
Mm-hmm.
and that evolved to a blog, and then from there it turned into events, conferences, retreats, and workshops just to develop the whole woman.
Mm-hmm.
We even do a number of other things, outreach. We also pay bills, if there's a need.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot. We have single mom events, goal setting, events, just all types of things to develop the whole woman. So it's been around for a while. It's been a 501c3 since 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my heart. And Ty Writes is a business. It's an LLC where I do all things writing,
Okay.
publishing books, and doing resumes and what have you. But so yeah, that's pretty much what I do. By day, I am a grant evaluator.
Okay.
That's my day job. I was a teacher for 10 years in public education. So I just stepped away from that last year.
Okay.
So this whole flexible entrepreneurship journey is kind of new to me.
Mm-hmm. What inspired you to start Ty Talks?
Well, I felt like I had did a lot in my life. Um, and I think in 2016 I started to take a lot of the lessons that I learned over time and like
Mm-hmm.
turn them into quick, quirky Facebook posts. And I still do that. Like I say a lot of things that people may not actually say or want to admit to.
Mm-hmm.
While being comical with it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where Ty Talks comes from. That and from there I developed this following of people who are like, hey, that's me too. You
Mm-hmm.
too. Like I can relate to that. And so because I was so relatable, this following came. And I saw so many women that could relate. So then that's when I started the blog. Like that inspired me to really write about these things. I'm divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people don't know this, but I actually like pawned my ring. And there was one blog I did that's called
Mm-hmm.
"What Pawn Shop Did I Leave It At Anyway?" And I just,
Mm.
but the whole blog talks about marriage and divorce
Mm-hmm.
and the heartbreak of dealing with that, and how the different layers of grief you have with that.
Mm.
So just different things like that. And I was just being 100% real about, just being honest. And I find that when you're like that, people will gravitate to you
Yeah, for
anyway,
sure.
because they're like, okay, I want to talk some more.
Yeah.
And so that's how I develop these spaces where women can come and we can talk about things, even technology classes. I even have those because
Okay.
some people want to know more about technology, but they may not can afford to pay hundreds of dollars for those things. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the things that Top Talks has is either free or donation only.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Now, okay, so you say women empowerment. Now, everybody be talking about they women empowerment.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What kind of woman empowerment are you doing? Are
So what
we empowering for real?
Right. And that brings me to what I was saying about like developing the whole woman.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. There's so many women empowerment things, so many women empowerment brunches, so
Mm-hmm.
many people, bringing in, speakers or what have you.
Yeah.
And it's all wonderful. Um, but the thing about TyTalks is what I'm trying to develop with having it a nonprofit is I want it to be open. I don't want it to be one group of women that are always together.
Yeah.
I want it with every event, I want to add on, have more and more different women from different backgrounds come, from the moms to the single women with no
Mm-hmm.
kids, to the married women, to whoever, the college student. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be very diverse, and I want to offer things that really can develop them, like the technology classes, like the goal setting roundtables, networking opportunities, because so many women are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So we could come together, exchange business cards, talk about what we do. Retreats, most of those are Christian retreats, but even
Okay.
they are growing in God. That's important too.
Yeah.
So I want a community of women from all types of backgrounds that, have those things that they may be in need of or need community themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Especially single moms. That's something that's important as well. But it's been a great last year. Towards the end of last year, I started doing more in-person events
Okay.
again. And I just saw a lot of growth in TyTalks. Like, my goal, and I tell anybody, my goal setting round table is once a year at the end of the year. It went from being like 8 people in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not even 8. It was like 5 women there. To this year, it was almost 20.
Oh, that's good.
So seeing the growth that has taken place just
Mm-hmm.
lets me know that I'm on the right path, I'm doing the right thing, and I'm reaching those diverse women, those diverse communities that I desire to reach.
Okay. Now, so it is faith based. So, do you welcome women who would like to learn? Let's say you don't have that saved person just yet. Do you have an
Well,
open forum for people to come in and to
well, if,
possibly develop that?
well, under Tide Talks, there was a Bible study that was called Quiet Strength.
Okay.
It came about in like 2017. And there did come a time within Quiet Strength where I had to send out a survey to some of the women that was coming so I could understand where everybody was in their faith.
Yeah.
Because not everybody is where they not everybody is ready for certain things
Right.
when it comes down to faith, or not everybody sees God the same just yet. They're
Yeah.
getting there. So I totally understand what you're asking, but having had time to, in the pandemic, to massage TyTalks and really sit back and evaluate what I did over the years that wasn't a pandemic, and as we go into, starting to be in person again, I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking the time to kind of make room for everybody when it comes to that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's important. It's
It
very
is
important.
important, and you don't want to necessarily shut out. That's a huge group of people,
Yeah,
a huge group of women. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And you don't necessarily want to shut them out just because they're not there.
Right, right. Definitely not. Yeah. So we haven't even, Quiet Strength hasn't even started back yet. And I'm actually searching my heart to how I want to go back into it. I know
Mhm.
that it's there for a reason. There's a whole social media group of women that's like 200 deep that were a
Mhm.
part of that. So I know there's something else to come of it. I'm still working out what it is exactly, but that's a very important component of Tie Talk. So, yeah.
So what would you say are the top two issues that you've tackled with these women retreats, women empowerment groups, and things like that? What are some common issues that we're having as a whole?
I think let's see, two. Well, I guess not within having a nonprofit, because having a nonprofit is hard within itself.
Yeah.
Because again, most things are free or donation only. And then for me, I like things to be really nice and on a grand scale, but you have to consider the budget when you're dealing with a
Mhm.
nonprofit budget, So, but that's not necessarily concerning, the community or the women.
Mhm.
I think one thing that I addressed at my Thanksgiving, I had a Thanksgiving event where we
Mm-hmm.
came together. It was like a fellowship.
Okay.
One thing that was addressed there was that a lot of women are discontent. So I think
Mm.
discontentment is running like rampant in the community.
Discontent with what?
Like just discontentment, be it relationships, be it
Okay.
just life in general, be it I'm not where I would like to be, that type of
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Gotcha.
Like that happens a lot. So discontentment is one thing that I see a lot. And another thing is I think a lot of time with women, they get caught up in false flattery. And what I mean by
Ooh.
that is like we love to hear that someone needs us, but a lot of times, you know, we need to choose ourselves too.
Yeah.
Like you can't be everywhere for everybody. You can't be
Yeah.
everything to everybody.
Right.
But when people start like pulling on that flattery, like, oh, I couldn't do it if you weren't here. I can't do it without you. We get to feeling some type of way like, man, I got to figure out how to be there. No, you don't. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you can't be everything to everybody. And I think that's something women need to figure out about themselves. So those two things, the false flattery, succumbing to false flattery and
Mm-hmm.
discontentment.
And discontentment. So what's some advice that that you've given the ladies for the discontentment?
Well, with discontentment, you know, that goes back to faith
Okay.
because God would not have you be unhappy.
Right.
And I know it's so cliche and people get tired of hearing it. Like where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. Nobody really wants to hear that.
Right.
But it is factual. Like if you really waste your time worrying about where you're not,
Yeah.
that's why you can't see that you're in the right place. Because every day you're going over and over in your head about where you want to be,
Yeah.
and therefore you're not paying attention to where you
What
are and why
right
you're
and
in
what
this
you
place.
have in front of you.
Right, and
Absolutely.
why you have this in front of you and why you're in this place right now. What are you supposed to be doing in this season right now?
Yeah.
That you have this free time without the husband, without this, you know, without the high power position. Like,
Yeah.
why are you right here? And I think we get so caught up in trying to jump ahead that we don't take the time to stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I definitely think women should do more of that. Just stop. Just pray and ask God to give you contentment and open your
Mm-hmm.
heart to it, you know?
Absolutely.
Um, as far as the false flattery, just being able to say no. If you can't, don't stress yourself. Like stop doing that. Stop killing yourself to be everywhere. Like just stop.
You're just one person.
I know you
We're
are.
just one person. You cannot, and it's okay to say no. And if they get mad, oh well,
Exactly.
they'll be all right. They will live.
Exactly. That's
It's
true.
gonna be okay. I
That's
found
true.
out people will do what they want to do, and they'll figure out a way. If they really want to do it, they'll do it,
With or without you.
with or without you. So what are you
Exactly.
losing sleep for?
Exactly.
So what do you say to that young entrepreneur, young lady who's thinking about starting that business, who's at the beginning stages? What's some advice that you give her out the door?
Definitely make sure that it's not something that you're good at and that you like doing, but it's something that you're good at and you want to do it for other people.
Ooh, why you say that?
Because there are so many people that are good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
And they jump up and because they're good at it, they turn it into a business. But then when on those days when it's not giving what you thought it was gonna give, they stop.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just something you were good at and it wasn't
Right.
something you were supposed to turn into a business. Like some stuff you can keep for yourself. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to make everything a new business. So just make sure that whatever that business idea that you have, that you're good at, that you are
Mm-hmm.
going to be fine doing it for clients, doing it for customers, dealing with the complaining client or dealing with the complaining customer or the customer that want their money back or the
Yeah.
whoever are just worry you to death all the time. Make sure that you're ready to do it for them because like I said, they could, if it's something that's supposed to be for you, you can end up hating it because you really
Yeah.
weren't supposed to even share it.
Right.
Like I've heard people say, I love to cook, but I'm not going to open a restaurant because I love to do it and I don't want it to become something I hate.
Right.
So that's my advice. Make sure you want to do it for other people
And not just yourself.
and not just yourself. Because there are
And
several things I like to do, but I only like to do it for me.
right. And then it ain't meant for you to do it on that
Exactly.
grand scale.
Exactly.
Especially for you to not like it. Then it becomes more of like a job instead of a hobby or
Right.
something
Right.
enjoyment. Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Where what are your plans for Thai rights for 2023?
Well, for both for
Thai
TyTalks,
talks and
for
Thai rights.
TyTalks, for TyTalks, I'm really starting to work on planning out my year and what events I'm gonna have. There are some annual events towards the end of the year that we will see. There will be some new things coming about.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I like to focus on the whole woman, so we'll be dealing with some things in health and fitness, as well as there'll be some opportunities for networking again, fellowship. Definitely, always one thing Ty Talks will always have is opportunities to give back.
Okay.
So be it someone in need, be it like I said, we do pay bills for those in need. So whenever we had an opportunity, we're definitely always giving back. We adopt families.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those things will still be happening. I am making plans for a first quarter culminating event for a goal setting group that I
Okay.
have. So that's what I'm working on now to do that in March. So that's currently what's happening. So um if you are, interested, if you're in Alabama, because people do drive up or down here for events,
Mm-hmm.
you can find me on Facebook, Ty Talks 501c3. Or you can also subscribe to the website, Ty Talks, the number 2, empower.org. So we send out newsletters um, just to keep people informed on everything. So you always be in the loop.
Cool. Where do you see Thai talks 5 years from now?
Whew. I want it to be really, really established. Like I want it to be one of those nonprofits that everybody knows, like it's a
Mm-hmm.
household name. I would love for it to be at least, and this is me thinking the least, be a
Mm-hmm.
household name in Alabama.
Gotcha.
And that women in Alabama are familiar. They're like, oh, I know Ty Talks. Like I know that organization,
Mm-hmm.
and I want it to be on a some type of continuous scale when it comes to donations. Like I want it to have monthly donors,
Mm-hmm.
like those types of things. So that's definitely, and I want the events, of course, to get grander, to
Mm-hmm.
get the participation to be much bigger. Like I definitely see it growing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ShaTara, for being a guest on our show
Yeah.
today. It was a pleasure having you here. Everybody, y'all make sure y'all continue to check out Miss ShaTara and Thai Talks and help her. She's gonna become a house name.
Yeah. That's the goal.
That is the goal. We gonna make sure it happens here on
That's
Total
right.
Praise Radio. Make sure y'all continue to check out Total Praise Radio. Follow Total Praise Radio on Facebook. Join the group, Total Praise Radio group on Facebook.
Oh
Go to
yeah.
www.totalentradio.com and hit the Total Praise Radio button to get your praise on. Until next time, everybody, I am your host, Miss Kayla. We are signing out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.